Hi everyone and welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
This is the final part of the death talk that the ETs use up on the ship to assist human beings after they have crossed over. The subject of death is not one that is generally talked about here on planet Earth for one reason or another. I must admit that I don't really resonate to the title, Death Talk, but the information that is presented here is so very important. So following on from our last episode when we spoke about the in-between, in this episode we discuss reincarnation.
Okay, Paula, reincarnation or not. And yes, many apologies to anyone who feels upset by the term death talk. This is grey humour at its blackest, or maybe I should say at its greyest. As I've mentioned before, the work carried out by the greys is very similar to that carried out down here by paramedics, and we do tend to use rather dark humour on the job to get us through. We often need to go in where angels fear to tread, as the saying goes, to rescue lost souls. And humour is your protection under such circumstances. The death talk is part of the soul rescue work. Okay, so when we pass over from physical life, we spend as much time in the in-between as we need to. At this level, time does not apply. Everything is in the now. With this in mind, if we do decide to experience another physical life on Earth, we can choose whatever time frame fits best for what we still need to experience.
So we can take as much time as needed in considering whether we have more lessons to learn on Earth. Can we choose to go anywhere else in the universe?
Most definitely. We go wherever we need to go, so we don't necessarily have to choose an Earth plane life. There are other countless planetary dimensions and cultures to choose from, or else physical experience may no longer be desired or required. We may just want to remain in oneness. But oneness, being pure energy, is always expanding, so the default setting tends to eventually go back to seeking experience.
So we may choose to remain in oneness to have a rest for a while, but we are always going to come back somewhere to learn, grow, evolve, or heal, whatever the case may be.
Not necessarily. Once we've gained perfect balance in our energy, we may prefer to just meld back into oneness. But this state takes many lives of both positive and negative experiences to reach. If we do choose reincarnation, decisions then need to be made with the help of our higher soul self and others of our soul family, which is all the different ones that make up the soul group, about where, how and when rebirth will happen. It's as if we're positioned in the centre of a circle, with all life possibilities around us in the circle, because from this perspective time does not apply. What this means is that if we've decided to experience another life on Earth, we can reincarnate either backwards or forwards in Earth's time. We don't necessarily follow the sequence of Earth's time.
Wow, that's a lot to get your head around. Can you go back to the life that you just had? And if we can, could we do it differently?
We can't really go back to the same life, but if we need to, we can go back to a similar life. But no life is ever wrong. Even the seemingly worst life still provides opportunities for learning and spiritual growth. It all balances out in the end. For example, take somebody like Hitler. In his next life, he may be an absolute saint to balance out his negative past. What does happen with somebody like that, if you aim religious or racial prejudice at any particular group, it's highly likely you'll then have to choose a life as a member of that group. So if Hitler has been reborn on Earth, he's probably now Jewish. And remember, we also don't necessarily have to reincarnate on Earth. The universe is made up of countless planets supporting life, human and otherwise, and countless dimensions way past 3D. We can reincarnate wherever the opportunities are available for us to gain balance and experience. Our between-life state involves making this choice and then beginning the process of connecting energetically to the collective consciousness of whatever planetary culture we've chosen, whatever group or nation we've decided upon on the planet, and the family we've chosen to be born into.
So, Judy, if someone from planet Earth crosses over and decides to go somewhere else in the universe, would it be the same family as the one they had on Earth?
Family life exists throughout the universe, and we do tend to stay with our soul family, so it's highly likely that we will link up with at least some of the same folks. We need to understand that these choices are made from our higher soul perspective and are always driven and based on the restoration of balance. So karmic debts or rewards may be brought into play. If the life we have chosen is on Earth, then the limited 10% conscious human part of us that is reborn down here may find it daunting, not being able to perceive the bigger picture from the way more expanded soul perspective. And so we blame God for our circumstances.
But in the greater reality, we've actually chosen it ourselves, and it's all about rebalancing on the energy level of our being.
Yes, for sure. In the greater reality, there are no mistakes and no accidents. Everything is meant to be and is aimed at restoring balance. Every soul reincarnates with the best of intentions, but life on a highly polarised planet such as Earth is designed to offer us the free will choice of love or fear. This is the building block of our spiritual evolution. Earth is a school planet, and like children attending school, we face consequences for the free will choices that we make. Here on Earth, we're in training to exercise our soul-based ability as creators. This being the case, until we master the ability to create positively rather than negatively, we will be confined to keeping coming back here again and again. It's just like at school, how if you fail the end of year exam, you have to repeat the year rather than being elevated to the next class up.
I know you hated school, Judy. I hope you're not talking from experience here. But yes, we are creators, not victims.
I used to stay away as often as I could, but no, I always somehow managed to scrape through the exams. And yes, definitely we are creators in training. We are not victims. It's all very well shifting the blame to the planetary controllers, the devil, or whoever we perceive to be blocking us, but ultimately the choice is ours. We are a soul with the God essence within us, so we do have the positivity and empowerment to escape the clutches of this so-called prison planet. Escaping the wheel of karma is entirely within our own hands, and it's making the choice of fear rather than love that keeps us trapped here in 3D. Fear cannot exist at 5D. The bottom line is the only real reality is universal consciousness, and the fact that in the greater reality we are an immortal spiritual being. Everything else is an illusion. So if you'd like to read more about all of this, all my books can be accessed from Amazon through our website, which is listed below, and they are Human by Day, Zeta by Night, followed by the Zeta Message, then Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective.
Thanks, Jude, and thanks everyone for listening. Please share, like and subscribe, and sending you all much love, and bye for now.